Portions of this program are brought to you by Cure Point Cancer Treatment, 2406 Bellevue Road in Dublin. At Cure Point Cancer Treatment, we're bringing you state-of-the-art cancer treatment right here at home. Cure Point Cancer Treatment. Check us out on Facebook.
Good morning and welcome to the February First Friday Means Business Breakfast. I hope you have enjoyed a great breakfast this morning. I want to start our program out by saying thank you to the folks at Shepherd Community Blood Center for being our program sponsor this morning. Can we recognize them? And we do have Ashley Whitaker with us, and Brian will introduce her in a few minutes, and we've got a great program for you. But before we get into that, let's return thanks for our meal this morning. Father, we thank you so much for just a new day of life that you've given us today, Lord. Thank you for breathing life into us today and just giving us the opportunity to serve you in a greater capacity. Lord, I pray for those that need it the most today, and we pray especially for those who think they need it the least. And we just commit the day to you and ask that you strengthen us, Lord. We thank you for the meal that's been provided, and we ask that it would nourish our bodies and give us that strength again, that we would be greater servants unto you. And I ask that you just bless this meeting today, bless our time together, and have us all return home safe at the end of the day in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. With that, I want to turn it over to our chairman, Mr. Brian Nash.
Today we're going to have from the county, Mr. Trey Kemp. You want to come give us an update, Mr. Kemp?
Sure. Good morning, y'all. I just want to spend a second to talk about how proud I am of everyone who's been involved in the vaccination process over at Southern Pines. If you haven't been there, Randy, I'm sure that you're eligible for the vaccine. But it's been a really fantastic process. Every governmental organization has worked together. County fire, city police, the sheriff's office, every agency that you can imagine has been involved in that process and have worked in a way that I can't even describe to you. We have had about 7,600 vaccines, I'm told, in this region, in Dr. Kraft's region, and over 5,000 of those have been administered at Southern Pines. And so not only have we received the lion's share of those vaccinations, but we've done it quicker than anyone else has in most of the rest of the state. So we really are on the top of the heap right now as far as vaccinations. And next week, people are going to start receiving their second round of vaccinations for their second shot of vaccinations. So just kudos to everybody. The city of Dublin's not here, but for the city of Dublin and all the agencies that have worked together hand in hand to make this happen. Thank y'all.
Today, we've got Jeremy Reagan here to update us on Chamber Talk.
Thank you, Brian. I don't normally do well reading. I usually do much better if you just give me a microphone and let me make a fool of myself. So bear with me just for a moment. I'm going to read through a list of accomplishments the Chamber's had over 2020. Our first 2020 First Friday Business After Hours brought together an average of over 150 Chamber members each month for networking and community updates. The 67th annual dinner was held with 402 guests in attendance. Recognized large and small businesses along with individuals for their accomplishments in the business community. The Chamber continues successful programs such as Women in Business and the Chamber Ambassador Program. The Industry Appreciation Golf Tournament was held with 144 participants and 27 sponsors, which was a sold-out event. Through the Chamber TV 35 Chamber Talk Show, 57 local businesses were spotlighted, and we reached over 8,000 individuals through our social media platforms highlighting local businesses. Currently, there are over $28,000 in shop-at-home gift certificates circulating in the Lawrence County community courtesy of the Chamber. The annual Membership Appreciation Luncheon was held with 34 sponsors and over 300 local residents in attendance. In the midst of the pandemic, we welcomed 50 new members to the Dublin Lawrence Chamber of Commerce. We hosted local election debate forums, helping educate citizens as to the candidates' platforms. Let me also mention that the Chamber staff made over 470 personal phone calls to members during the pandemic, providing members with valuable resources such as helping members navigate PPP and EIDL loan applications and providing vital safety information relative to COVID-19. Additionally, the staff mailed 503 handwritten letters to the membership showing our appreciation for the continued support. In addition, the Chamber held 13 ribbon cuttings celebrating new businesses. Our Chamber worked closely with local governments to ensure we had maximum participation in the 2020 census. We partnered with the folks at Georgia Power and the county school system to provide over $10,000 in 3D printing technology for East Lawrence Middle School, which has been an absolutely huge hit. If you don't want to see excitement in the kids' eyes, ask them about a 3D printer at East Lawrence Middle School. Our Chamber held pre- and post-legislative updates with the state and local governments, informing our members as to work being done at the state capitol and locally. Some of other initiatives we participated in was student mentoring program with the Georgia College and State University, hosting a student from Trinity Christian School for job shadowing, being an active participant in the Lawrence County Human Resource Association, leading and participating in sessions with the Citizens Bank Youth Advisory Board and youth leadership, partnering with East Lawrence High School, conducting mock job interviews for CTAE students. Activities on a personal level at the Chamber included Chamber President and CEO holds a seat and fills active roles on the following boards: United States Chamber of Commerce, Southeast Institute Board of Regents, Georgia Chamber of Commerce Association Executive Board, Georgia Chamber Rural Prosperity Committee, CTAE Advisory Board, East Lawrence High School, Heart of Georgia College and Career Academy Board of Directors, Easter Seals Board of Directors, Robbins Museum of Aviation Board. Are you sure you're in town ever? Military Affairs Committee with the Robbins Air Force Base, Dublin Lawrence County Development Authority Workforce Steering Committee, and the Dublin Rotary Club. Just a few more interesting tidbits about your chamber. The New Educators Initiative driven by the Chamber allowed us to distribute $8,000 in gift cards to the first-year teachers in Dublin and Lawrence County schools. We welcomed 8 new participants to the Chamber Smart Plan, saving 8 companies over $100,000 in health insurance premiums. One company alone saved over $30,000. Our Chamber staff created Localopoly, showcasing 22 local businesses during the holidays while generating over $10,000 in local sales. As you all know, as being business people and members of the community and just somebody that doesn't have their head stuck in the sand, 2020 was a crazy year. And from a personal standpoint, I want to thank you for continuing your participation in the Chamber and your support of the Chamber. You know, the events that took place and everything that we just heard didn't come together because he dreamed it up one night and we did it the next day. It took a lot of planning and forethought. And I'll tell you, as a member of the board, it is not something that we take lightly to have that event. Each and every discussion that was had about each and every event that we sponsored or put on or hosted, a lot of time and effort and blood and sweat and tears went into the argument of whether or not to have it. Plain and simple. I wish I could tell you that we have a calendar of events and everybody says this is exactly what we're doing, and that's not the case. Even the meeting that we're having today was discussed at our board meeting at length as to whether or not it's for the betterment of our community. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, is to help and support each one of you guys. And we thank you. I make it sound like that we're the only ones that care, and that's not the case. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be here. And for that, I appreciate your participation and your commitment to the Chamber as well. So thank you.
When the power's out, you're out of business. But with natural gas, with the City of Dublin, when the power's out, you can still cook on your gas stove or shower with your gas hot water heater or even fire up the grill. Plus save money every single day because natural gas costs half the price of electricity and propane. Start saving today with the City of Dublin Natural Gas. Call Brad Grimes at 277-5048 and you'll never be out of business with natural gas. From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
And after hearing that report card, I think that we all should be able to recognize that Keith, Malia, and Ruth Ellen You guys do a wonderful job here at the Chamber, and our community is blessed to have all three of you. Our sponsor today, Shepherd Community Blood Center, we have Ashley Whitaker. Ashley's the Director of Community Resources. It's a nonprofit blood center in Augusta that serves more than 20 hospitals that service about 30 counties. Ashley's department handles all the blood center's marketing, their drive and donor recruitment, and their donor education. So I'm going to turn it over to Ashley now. Ashley, thank you for the sponsorship, and thank you for being our speaker today.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come speak to you today. I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about what we do, why it's important, and how you guys can help us. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, I just wanted to start by telling you a little bit about us, and yes, that is me in the blood drop costume right there. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. All of our donors are volunteers, and the reason that we aren't able or we do not pay our donors is because the products that are collected, they go to our local hospitals. And that blood is really important that those products are labeled volunteer donor. That's what our hospitals order, that's what they need. In 2021, we are celebrating 43 years of service. On average, we collect a little more than 35,000 blood products each year. We are a pretty small nonprofit blood center. We have 3 fixed sites, Augusta, Aiken, and Evans, and we're actually looking to expand into Lexington, South Carolina. We provide the blood and blood products for 20 hospitals in Georgia and South Carolina. We serve more than 30 counties. And like I said, everything that we collect goes straight to the hospitals in our community, into patients. So did you know, there's no substitute for blood, platelets, or plasma. These products cannot be replaced by a drug. They can't be manufactured in a lab. The only way that we can collect blood transfusion, products for blood transfusions, platelet and plasma, is people donating it. In the U.S., only 62% of people are eligible to donate blood. There's a lot of reasons why you might get knocked out of the donor pool. Sometimes those are permanent deferrals, sometimes it's temporary. But out of that 62%, only less than 5% actually donate blood. And that 5% number is really like, hey, a blood mobile is at my job, and I'm gonna go donate, so you're a blood donor. That doesn't really account for people who actually come in and donate regularly, and I can promise you that number is much smaller than 5%. One thing that I have been working on in my department to try to do is to get younger donors to come donate. I will say our older donors, they are really the ones who keep our blood supply afloat. 40 years and older, and this statistic up here says older than 40 years and then older than 50. I will tell you, it is not unusual at Shepherd for me to see a 75-year-old donor rolling up their sleeve and donating blood. I hope when I'm 75 that I am that healthy to be able to do that, and we appreciate those people who do that. But we really need younger people to step up and replace them, because as you get older, there are a lot of different reasons why you may get deferred. So that is one thing that ultimately would really help the blood supply. So this is just a little graphic to kind of show some of the hospitals. This is just a few hospitals that we service. We also do Jefferson. So we are in this community and in this area. We have, during coronavirus, during the pandemic, we have manufactured, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a second, the convalescent plasma, so COVID-19 convalescent plasma. We have sent a lot of that to these hospitals. So every time you donate with us right now, we do a COVID-19 antibody test. That does not tell you if you have a current infection. In fact, if you don't feel well, we don't want you to donate blood, and that's year-round. We don't want you to donate blood if you don't feel 100%. But if you come and you donate, we do a screening, and that can tell you if you have the antibodies in your body. That means that you may have been exposed to COVID-19 in the past. This is important for 2 different reasons. One, it kind of lets you know if you were exposed and if you have those antibodies to fight COVID-19. It also will be something that you could potentially donate convalescent plasma to help other people, since you do have those antibodies. So appeals for donations. When a trauma happens locally, the hospital will call us and they say, you know, we had an accident last night. We have a mom who, you know, is having a really bad labor. She's really in trouble. We need these products in. Sometimes, hopefully, we wish it was all the time. We already have those products on our shelf. But unfortunately, a lot of times we don't. So we will put a plea out to our donors, and, you know, we can't tell people the exact scenario, but we can say, you know, we have someone at Augusta University Hospital or Dodge County who was in a car accident last night and they need your help. So people do come out for that. And what that means, you know, one thing that is interesting to me is before I came into this field, and let me tell you, I came from a marketing director for a restaurant group straight into the blood industry, totally different from each other. But what I didn't realize was when I think of blood transfusions, I think of like car accidents, someone stabbed, someone shot, really, really big traumas or surgeries. But there's a lot of routine, everyday reasons why people get blood transfusions. We see it a lot of time with women having children, having babies. Even if your pregnancy is completely healthy, a lot of times they will still need 2 or 3 blood transfusions just to be able to recover after. A lot of people who are undergoing chemotherapy, cancer treatments, they need a lot of blood and platelet transfusions, a lot. If someone is burned, they usually need a lot of different transfusions, not just blood, but platelet and plasma as well. So there's a lot of different reasons why someone would need one. And, almost missed it, patients undergoing treatment for COVID-19. That is our new, I don't want to say new, but it is a emerging mission for us to be able to get those products.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound-guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space, so hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
I'm Don Carswell of Dublin Chevrolet. The new year means new savings on your favorite Chevy.
Dublin Chevrolet saves you up to $7,000 off MSRP on this Silverado Crew Cab.
And remember, Don sells cars well only at Dublin Chevrolet.
So who can donate? If you're healthy, you can probably donate. But what I mean by healthy is if you have a cold, don't come and donate blood. It's not that your cold virus is going to infect the blood supply. It's just that donor safety is really important to us. So we want you to feel 100% before you come and donate. That'll let you have a better time after donating. You're less likely to have a reaction. You have to weigh at least 110 pounds. 16-year-olds can donate with parental consent. Obviously, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, they do not need parental consent to donate. I have up here our iron level of hematocrit, but what that really goes to is female donors, you have to have like a 12.5 hemoglobin minimum to be able to donate, and men it's 13. I will tell you that is the #1 reason why most women are deferred is for their hemoglobin level. It happens to me. My iron's not always high enough to donate. But if you come in and you try it and you're on the cusp and you feel okay, we really do encourage you to try again, because sometimes that just ebbs and flows from day to day. If you're on antibiotics, we need you to wait until you're done with them. Even if you feel 100%, you can come in the next day. You just have to finish that round of antibiotics. So what can you donate? Obviously whole blood. If you are O positive or O negative, you are very, very important to the blood supply, especially O negative. O negative is the universal blood donor. What that means is you could donate blood to everyone. And that's only 6% of the population, so it's not a whole lot of people. What's really important with the O negative donors is, like if there's an emergency situation and they don't have time to blood type someone, your product is what they need. For newborn babies, O negative donors are what are transfused into them. So O negative, I can't stress enough, if you have that blood type, please donate. O positive is also important. I'm O positive. It's a pretty common blood type, but it's one of the most commonly ordered blood types from our hospitals. Platelets. If you are a male with A positive blood, platelets is probably the most useful donation you can make. It's a little bit trickier for women to donate platelets because we all have to be tested for an antigen called HLA before we're eligible to donate. And some women, if you've had children, and if you're positive for HLA, you're not able to donate platelets, but you can still donate blood. But men, they've never been pregnant, so they don't have that in the mix. We also have plasma, and we have two different types of plasma you can donate. The regular plasma is what usually goes into people who are undergoing treatment for burns. If you have type AB blood, which is not very common, you would be an ideal candidate for plasma because you're the universal donor for that. And then we also have convalescent plasma, and that is plasma collected from individuals who have completely recovered from COVID-19 and who have the antibodies in their blood to go out through the plasma. So I just wanted to share this story because for me as a blood donor, this is the reason why I donate. This is Andrew. When he was 5, this was like Christmas Day too, so his poor parents, I can't imagine. He got the flu, which my kids have had the flu, not a big deal, right? Well, he had complications from it. He ended up developing a rhinovirus, and they had to take him to Children's Hospital of Georgia. He was immediately sent to the pediatric intensive unit, and he had 4 transfusions of O positive blood because his body was just so weak and his hemoglobin had dropped so much that he needed those transfusions to be able to recover. And I will tell you, 4 O positive transfusions around Christmas time where our supply is low, it was really a miracle and it really shows you how much people cared to really come out and rally to get him those donations. And I just want to read a quote from his dad. He said, "The blood came quicker than expected. Within a few days, we had 4 blood transfusions. We saw our son not really moving, white ghost pale and in bad shape, but as that O positive blood entered his body, we saw life." And to me, that is a big reason why I donate, because you get to see the people that you literally saved their life with your donation. And he is great, doing wonderful, a very healthy 6-year-old now. And his parents said that he doesn't, it was just something that happened and he's moved past it. So let's talk about COVID-19 plasma. I'm sure a lot of you have heard it discussed in the news. And I'll let you know a little bit about it. So this right here, this is our first donor. We have been collecting convalescent plasma since April, which is really early for blood centers across the U.S. We were one of the first centers to actually start collecting it. Since then, we've shipped about a little more than 2,600 units to hospitals, and we focus local first because that's our responsibility, is our community. But we have been very lucky and fortunate to be able to have extra, so we can send it out to different hospitals across the U.S. We've also been contributing to our nation's stockpile, which means that we have been able to send units to that to be held in case there's another serious outbreak or if they need it. So that's really cool. This gentleman right here, he's a med student. He caught it on spring break, and then he came in and donated.
Community Bank of Dublin Lawrence County is here to help with all of your financial needs. Our team knows what it takes to make life easy and convenient and will help you get set up with our mobile and online banking. We founded Community Bank on common sense banking and a dedication to help people just like you. Our loan officer Gail Rainey and branch manager Amy Thompson know what it takes to make life easy and convenient and can help you with loans with almost everything, from your automobile, home, land, or any financial goals you have. Come visit us today. Community Bank of Dublin Lawrence County, where common sense banking never goes out of style.
So what is it? What is COVID-19 convalescent plasma? I call it CCP for short. It is plasma that has been collected from an individual who's fully recovered from COVID-19 and who has antibodies in their system. I will tell you that not everyone who has tested positive for COVID will have antibodies in their system. I don't, and I tested positive in September. So the first step is we'll screen you to let you know if you do have those antibodies. CCP does not cure COVID. It is just a way to really help people, to help their immune system kind of gear up and fight the infection. It really kind of gets the patient going and kickstarts their immune system, to use a very non-scientific word, and gives them a chance to be able to recover. Typically, these CCP units are given to patients in the hospitals that are in really bad shape. Like, this is something that they do not prescribe lightly. It's given to people who they really need to do something, and something fast. It has to be prescribed by an MD. It can be administered both inpatient and outpatient, but I haven't heard of an incident locally for us where it was an outpatient. It's usually in the hospital. And it is shipped and stored frozen with expiration of 1 year from collection, which is really good, because with that 1 year expiration date and being able to freeze it, it allows us to collect a lot more than we can collect with, say, whole blood, because whole blood expires, I think, within 44 days, just to give you an idea of time span. So this is Tara and Randall Jackson. Unfortunately, Tara's mother and Randall's wife passed away after contracting COVID-19. This was over the summer. Her whole family had it, both of them had it, and they have started coming to donate in her honor. A lot of people that I've talked to who have had COVID, who are now donating plasma, they say it really gives them closure on it. It kind of makes them feel like they're contributing something good after a really bad thing that happened to them. And Tara and Randall say the same thing. They said it's helped them through the grieving process to be able to donate in honor of their mother and wife. So donor requirements. The number one thing I get asked is, you guys are saying that it's really important, but you're telling me I can't donate, that I'm deferred. So there are no shortcuts. We have to follow the same stringent donor requirements for CCP as we require for blood, platelets, and our regular plasma. The reason for that is donor safety, and also for recipient safety. We want to make sure that our products are as safe as they can be when they go into these patients. So if there is a process to find out if you are eligible to donate. You have to have documented proof of having COVID, and you got to be symptom-free for at least 14 days before you can donate CCP. Every single one of these units is tested for antibodies, so we make sure that it does have that in it before it is sent to the hospital for this use. If we were to collect somehow a unit of plasma from a donor, and then we somehow realize they didn't have antibodies after that, what we would do is just put that to our normal supply. But we're very careful with that. These donors can donate one time a week for 4 weeks, and then we put them on a 28-day break, and then we come back, because ultimately we want to make sure that the person who's donating, their antibody level stays high enough to still give them protection, and we do monitor that. COVID vaccine, that is the number one question I get is, can I still donate if I've had the vaccine? You can donate blood if you've had the vaccine. There's no deferral for that. For convalescent plasma, the answer is a very firm maybe. You might be able to. If you have had the vaccine and you've had COVID and you're interested, just shoot us an email and we can walk you through the process. It's not very cut and dry. There are sometimes you can donate and sometimes you can't if you've had the vaccine. And I mentioned before, female donors and HLA. If you are a female donor who has ever been pregnant in your entire life, you will have to be screened for HLA before you're eligible to donate this. And again, being positive for HLA, there's nothing that's wrong. It won't hurt you. It just can't be in the platelet or plasma products. So we need your help. Hospitals are still ordering CCP. It hasn't really slowed down much. We kind of bring it in and it's back out into the hospitals. We need new donors to be able to keep up that stock, because after a certain point, these donors who have donated before are not able to continue donating because their antibody levels don't always stay as high, for them, so we will defer them out of the system. I will also say that blood donations are down right now due to COVID. We are actually experiencing a national shortage because, as you can imagine, schools are out, businesses are out. We've canceled a lot of our mobile drives. A lot of people are just staying at home, staying safe, which we totally understand. But unfortunately, we still need those products for the hospitals, even in a pandemic. People are still having surgeries and cancer treatments, and if those products are not there, surgeries get canceled, and we get the word that says, so-and-so's cancer therapy is being postponed because we don't have platelets, and that just breaks my heart, to be honest with you. So if you're able to donate blood or anything, plasma, please do it if you can. So tips for a pleasant donation experience: make sure you eat well before you donate, at least an hour before. Don't eat something huge, but like something that will, be easy on your stomach. Drink a lot of water, and then drink more water, and then a little bit more water. You cannot drink enough water before and after you donate blood. Especially women, make sure you're eating iron-rich foods leading up to it. I like to, make sure I'm eating my spinach before I donate, but it's really important, and it will make you feel better after you donate. Try to relax. We have a lot of people, the majority of people who have reactions to donating are because they're really, really nervous and they get themselves really worked up, and then, they have a reaction. So just try to do your breathing exercises and just relax and wear something you don't think about, wear clothing that you can easily roll up to take the blood. Because sometimes we have people showing up with shirts that you just can't do that. And then afterwards, it's a really, really good excuse to lay on the couch and not do anything. You just tell people, I gave blood today, and then you just relax and take it easy. You really don't want to go and run a marathon after you donate blood. So we do have some upcoming CCP drives. We've got one actually tomorrow and Sunday here at the Chamber. We also have one coming up in February at the Manual Medical Center at another location. That's another weekend drive. Then we have another CCP drive here at the end of the month. And we also have a couple coming up in March in Dodge County. They're typically always a Saturday, Sunday deal. So I have an email up here, which is ccvdonor@shepherdblood.org, but I will be here for questions or what have you. If you're interested, I recommend you shoot us an email, send us your information, and we will tell you, we can kind of walk you through the process, let you know if you qualify, and give you any information you might need. Everybody who comes to these drives, they have to have an appointment because we're moving people through. We want to make sure we're socially distancing, so you have to have an appointment to donate. And women, you may have to be pre-screened if you've ever had a baby to make sure that you're HLA negative. It's really easy. They just draw a little tiny tube of blood. But yeah. And that is our social media info. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if you just happen to want to see us dancing in a blood drop costume.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Hello?
That's how some people do things.
Right away.
To us, everything we do is personal. Because anyone can answer the call. It's who shows up that matters most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Ask Curry Maffitt Insurance in Dublin if auto owners make sense for you.
I want to remind everybody, thank you again, Ashley, for a great program, and thank you guys for sponsoring today. We are planning to have a February business after hours as of right now. It looks like we'll be able to have that event. It will be at the Ice House, and Atlantic South Bank, Editing Place, and the Museum of Aviation will be sponsors for that event. So stay tuned to your email, and we'll keep you posted on that. And then the March 1st Friday, we got a great program with all of the different platforms that are available right now for virtual content. You may have heard of StreamYard, Hopin, Zoom, all of those different things. I've got a good friend of mine coming over from another chamber. Some of you know April Bragg. She's over at Warner Robins, and she's really on top of all of the different virtual platforms that are being offered. And she's going to come over and share, I believe, the Hopin platform and what the perks and the pros and the cons are for using that, because so many people are looking for different platforms to use these days virtually. So that'll be your first Friday in March. And with that, I'm going to leave you with this real quick. Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl's coming up on Sunday. I'm sure whether you like the Chiefs or you like, who is it, Tampa that they're playing, but you probably picked a side, one way or the other, and you said, or some of you like, I really don't care. But I want to tell you, all of us choose each and every day. You get to make a choice, and you choose which team you're going to play for. And you're either going to play for Satan's team, or you're going to play on God's team. And that's a choice that you make every day. You're in the game, you're playing, you got to make a choice. Whether fortunate or unfortunate, there's no sideline. You don't get to stand on the side and just stand there. You're participating. I love the scripture. I'm reminded in Joshua 24, it says, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. So you're going to make a choice each day. You're going to choose who you serve. I hope on this day you will choose to serve the Lord, because the other side comes to rob, kill, and destroy. And Christ said he came that we would have life and have life to the full. So make a wise choice each day. And then I also want to remind you, with Super Bowl Sunday coming up, dine locally, order takeout, support our local businesses and our restaurants over the weekend, so that we can have a super Sunday here in Dublin, Orange County, and it'll be another great day for business. Thank you. We're adjourned.